So it's pissing down with rain outside. It's meant to be summer, but it's pouring. But here's the Cat skid steer. It's just a 226B. So I'm gonna pull the pump out and have a look. The Terexes and the ASVs have the same pump and motor, but on the ASVs and Terexes you've got to pull the motor out because the cab doesn't lift up like the Cat. So this is good. I haven't done one where you just got to undo the hoses and pull the pump out. And I'll pull the hydraulic tank out because you got to pull that out too to get to it all. So we'll get to that. So I'm not sure if you can see back there, but that's the bell housing bolts that hold the pump to the bell housing, and as you can see, they're loose. You won't be able to see down there, but oh yeah, there you go. There's one missing there, and then if I grab this whole pump assembly and give it a bit of a wiggle, oh, you're not going to be able to see, but it's loose. So I reckon that's been loose and then flogged the plastic coupling out. So we're going to get rid of that plastic tank there. It just sits on that little bracket, undo the two hoses and undo that mounting bracket up top and lift that out once I drain the oil, and then mark all these hoses with coloured cable ties and undo them and pull the pump back, and then we can get in there and do the coupling. I reckon should be easy. Hopefully that's the problem. I would start it, but it makes a bad noise. It sounds like it's grinding the plastic away, but we'll soon find out. We just drained the hydraulic tank with the air pump. Got about just a bit over 20 litres out of it. It should have more, but a lot of it's leaked out underneath it because down there they've got the drive hoses undone. They must have thought when it stopped where it was that they could undo the drive hoses and it would roll or be able to be dragged, but it doesn't work like that. So I'll have to flush those hoses out and put them back on before I fill it up. And yeah, now we'll get that tank out. We got the hydraulic tank out, sucked the hydraulic oil out. Now we're going to give it a bit of a vacuum and clean up all these leaves and dirt and crap before we start pulling all the hoses off and put dirt in all of them. So we'll do that. Dad's getting the vacuum out and we'll go from there. So I knocked off yesterday arvo and went and got some coloured cable ties so I can start putting them on all the hoses, because trust me, you need them when you start pulling them off because you don't know which goes back where. So I've got my selection of coloured cable ties in different size in white and black, and we'll just go through and put them on as we take them off. So I'll start pulling hoses off now. This one would have been way too boring watching it in real time. It takes so long just undoing hoses and capping them off and trying to get into where they are with the spanner and stuffing around. So it's sped up a bit. Using Cat plastic plugs, they make the best kit you can get, I reckon. All the sizes fit real easy and they just work. So I've managed to get pretty much all the hoses off, I think, that I can see. I've got my big workshop light because I couldn't see and not my torches were flat, so I cracked it and Dad put that up there for me. So the next job is down in there. Oh, come on. There's two there's one pump mounting bolt each side. They're 13/16 and they're pretty difficult to get to. So we're just cutting a spanner and making one fit. Cat sell a proper spanner. It's like a crow's foot type deal that is supposed to get in there, but we'll just make one and either use a pry bar or put a ratchet on it, because you can't get that big pump mounting plate out from this end, so we'll just pull the pump out. Yeah. Oh, it stripped the steel coupler. Yes, it has. I can see it. Hopefully the pump shaft's okay. It's very stuffed.
Is it?
Yeah. Alright, give me that. You go, 450.
You need it on video.
Well, I might be depressed because it might be the pump shaft might be go up a bit. Come back, go up a bit. Go back a bit. Up a bit. Okay, go back. Yeah, just leave it there for a minute. They're a bit worn. Need that cap that fell out. That's supposed to have spline in it, and there's absolutely nothing left. If I can get it out. It's going. That wasn't very tight. Remember you do that up. Wow.
drop it and break it.
Come on, silicon.
Unless that's how they're meant to be.
Oh no, the plastic stuff too. I'll just undo it because it's stuffed. Oh, it'll be Imperial. Is that 3/8? Maybe. Half inch. I know where good to sit. You can have that. I can't hold it. My hands are that dirty. Lovely.
Oh,
I know. It must have made a noise for a long time. That wouldn't happen in 2 seconds. Some people. So I see the bolt for that keeps that thing clamped. Must have broke. One of them anyway. Like it's steel. Put it on. Oh. That's so bad. Even that. See, because terrible. Terrible. Oh, look at it. Okay. So it's about a week later. We got the flange in there, the new hub, some new bolts to hold the hub on, giving it all a bit of a pressure wash so it's a bit cleaner down there. So I'm going to put the new flange in, tighten those down, put the plate on the outside, and then put the flange on the pump and slide the pump in there and start reconnecting hoses. So the flange is in, I've done the bolts up, and then so these outer roller bolt holes is what holds the pump on, and it was missing 3 or 4 bolts completely, so I think that contributed to the pump being loose and doing what it did. So I got a tap here, 10 by 1.25 I reckon. Don't know, doesn't have on it what it is, but something like that. So I'll run the tap through and clean the bolt holes out so we don't have a repeat of what happened last time. got the new coupling on there, so as you can see it's got a nice spline in it, and then compared to the old one, look at the size of the hole compared to that. That's what that should look like. It's completely ruined. I don't know how they let it get that bad. That plate's in there ready to go. We've just got to drop the pump in and put the 2 bolts in and start setting putting all the hoses on. We got the pump in and the 2 bolts in with the help of this little 250 kilo snatch block come along thing. It's pretty handy. Would have been difficult to get it in there with the forklift, so we just hung a bar through the side of the cab there, D-shackle, and then straight down and hooked it on, and then we could adjust it and get those bolts in there, because they're a pain in there. We had to use some custom spanners, just old ones, old crappy brands. So that's what we used to do them up, and just put the ring spanner on it, and then use the pry bar between the flywheel housing bolts and get it as tight as you can. You have to get them tight, because if they come loose, you have the same problem as last time. So now I can start putting all the hoses back on, and hydraulic tank back in, change hydraulic filter, new hydraulic oil, and give it a test drive. Hopefully it goes. We will soon find out. So it's been a few days since I videoed the last bit. I've been working on the truck again, but I'm back here now. Everyone knocked off on the job I was on today at like lunchtime, because it was over 35, so I just cruised back here and thought I'd finish this. There's a cool change coming, so it's not too bad now, but pretty much just going to go through and put these hoses back on. Hopefully I remember where they all went, and make sure I get all the plugs out before I put the hoses on, because it doesn't work very well when you put hoses on with the plugs still on. And hopefully we can test it today if I hurry up and move stuff around. So we'll see how I go. I'm going to find somewhere to sit the phone so you can actually see something going on. Not that it's very exciting, but at least you can have a look. I've got all the hoses pretty much on, and the hydraulic tank's sitting in. I just got to lift the cab up, because the struts, the pins come out of the strut. The cab's real heavy, so I got that bit of wood in there holding it up. So I'm just going to put the forklift under there, because I can't lift it, I think. Pull that bit of wood out and try and get this strut in. Okay, got the hydraulic oil topped up, new hydraulic filter. So, ready to test start it. I'll start it with the cab up, got coolant. I'll start it with the cab up and make sure I've got no hydraulic leaks. If it's got hydraulic leaks, I'll go home. But that's okay. Hydraulic tank in. So we'll see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't drive off on me while the cab's up. Give it a bit of heat. I think the bar's actually got to be down. Sounds better than it did. You can hear the oil going through the pump. I'll have to put the cab down and just see if it does anything. So as you can see from that video, it moves, but bucket does nothing. So I think that's because it had a door at some point and someone's taken the door off, or it did have a jumper harness to bypass the door switch, which will lock out the bucket controls. So quick Google says the white and the black one need to be joined together. Both of them look white, so I'm not sure, but I'll hook the wire in there and see what it does. So I've got that hooked in there, the black one there to the white one on the corner. And now, looky. I need to take that ratchet strap off. But it works. How good's that? First, I did see the hour meter come up before. It said 1300 and something hours, but it's disappeared again now, so not sure. Battery light. Oh yeah, battery light. I think it needs, oh yeah, there we go. 1349.4. So it looks terrible for that amount of hours, but hopefully everything else is good. It didn't have a fuel cap when I got it, so it's probably got water in the fuel because it's definitely missing or out of fuel or something like that. But I'll unhook this ratchet strap, give it a quick test. Don't ask me how they got that in there. long as there's no new oil leaks. Definitely needs fuel filter. Look at the rust under there, that's terrible. That'll need some work too. Oh, there's a bit of wood under there, that's why the cab won't go down. It's definitely running crap, but I'm pretty sure that's because of I reckon it's got water in it or the fuel filter's blocked. I got a new fuel filter for it. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's terrible. That's why it runs like crap. So that fuel filter's probably blocked. And there'll be a fair bit of water in the tank. I'm not sure if they have a drain plug or what. So I'll have to Google that and see, because I'm not sure. But we will find out. Oh, it's leaking from up there too, and running down. I'll have a look at that. So fuel leak to add to the list of things to fix as well. Oh, just start it again. brake cleaner and give it a quick brake clean. I think that's all the fuel leak is. Probably just needs new copper washers, or it looks like it could even be missing. So I've got to see if the aircon works. It's like the second most important thing, apart from it running. Aircon do work. Down there, so if it works I should be able to feel them getting cold. Cold yet. Alright, well that's it for now, until I'll have to do some more on it. Yeah, I'll fix the fuel leak and lift the cab back up, check for oil leaks, and then I'll give it a little test and make sure it all works. I've got to tighten that hose up, that's loose as, and just that one just loose and leaking. So at least it moves, and I know I didn't buy a total lemon, so it's good. There's more parts for the S2. So that's got power steering on it. That's what we went to go have a look at in, I don't know, the last video. I think I said we were going for a drive to go have a look at it. And there it is. So that's a 73 model. Had a 555 in it and a 10 speed. Now it's got an 8.3 C series Cummins. So yeah. So there's the 8.3 Cummins C series. So that's how many horsepower? Where does it say? 240 horsepower. So not much. It was an Aggie. It had a barrel on the back. So there's a bit of concrete back there. But overall, it's really not in bad condition. It was the base model Povo pack one that would have had single headlights, and they've put twin headlights in it. You can see where the fiberglassed it up and cut the holes. But the grill, the top nose cone of the grill is a lot better than mine. At least it doesn't have any holes in it. So I'll get that re-chromed. And one side, this side's, oh, it's not too bad. It's got a couple of dents, but the main thing that sold was the power steering, because now I can swap this whole setup off this one onto mine for now, and that'll save me a heap in the long run. And then one day when I do something with this, I might have another power steering box or something to put back on this one. It's missing the turbo drain line, turbo feed line, but that's all I can see really. So it should run, I reckon. Have a look inside. The back wall of the cab is steel, which is were only the early ones. After that they're all pretty much aluminium. It's pretty nice in here. The door card's good, headliner's good, back wall's got a little crack in it there, but pretty basic. There's not much extra stuff in this one. 10-speed direct going by that sticker, so it'd probably be pretty slow, I reckon, if it's still the direct box with the Cummins, because it would have had a 555 new with the direct. So I'd have to work it out, but it says it's got deep reduction. Good thing is, I had the rubber over the pedal, and then that's like never had a foot on it. It must have always had the rubber on it, so it's got no wear at all. So that's good. That will stay like. That will go in mine too, because I was gonna have to fix mine. Good door cards. Not much really going on in here because it's pretty basic. Just one fuel tank. Walking beam suspension in the back. Don't know what ifs that they would be. All pretty basic. You can see all the concrete from when it had the AG on it. I did have a video taking it off the float, but my fat finger stopped it, so you don't get to see that, but it come off easy. Didn't fall off the side, so can't complain. I got to see if I got a turbo oil feed line somewhere, and then I can see if it starts. Will it start? Don't know how long it hasn't been running for, but it was in an auction in like 2018, I reckon, so that's probably when it sort of ran last, and last on the road around that time too, I reckon, or when the rego ran out. So probably hasn't been sitting that long, a few years maybe. So yeah, we'll see if we got a line, and if not, won't be starting it today, but there will be, do a video of it at some stage. So we found a couple of fittings and made a bit of a dodgy turbo feed line to see if we can start it, because it's going to be too hard to back it in, so we've just decided to see if it'll start. It's got water in it. We put a battery in it. Oil is there. It has oil. So I'm going to leave that turbo line off because it didn't have any plugs or anything in it. I'm just going to turn it over and see if it's got oil pressure and blow any crap out. So oil should come out there. Tell me when it comes out, so I can stop, and if it starts and I can't stop it. Got oil? Lovely. Put that on now. Yeah, I don't know if that's because it didn't sound like it wanted to do anything, so I don't know how it works. It's oh well, that's it there. Obviously that should.
Yeah, no, it works.
Yeah, it works. So just pump it while Yeah, just give it a pump and see. I'll just turn the ignition off. You hold that now. And I'll see. Gauge doesn't work or it doesn't make any air. There you go, it runs and it went pretty easy too. Ooh, interior light. That's the only thing that works in the cab, I reckon. Now we're just going to see if we can get it to drive. I found the old logbook in here. So on the 23rd of the 11th, 2009, we've done 35,914 Ks. Now it's 36,645. So it's done like 6,000 Ks since 2009, and it had a full service, and that was the last time it got driven, apparently. It actually sounds really good, and it started pretty easy. That's why we've got no air building up, because there's a plug or a drain tap missing. So we'll go find a plug and put in there. I've got to put 2 brake hoses on the back. I don't know if it's going to drive with that flat tyre, but we'll do that and then see what it does. Got the plug in there, so now we'll see if it builds up air, and if the power divider works, it'll move. If the power divider doesn't work, it won't move, pretty much. Still don't think that works, but I can hear a few air leaks, so it is building up. I'll let it build up and we'll see. So the brake hoses well, the fittings are snapped out of the booster, so I'm just going to cage this with the caging bolt just to get this one off. And I've got that one crimped over, tucked under there, so it should be building up air right now. And then while I cage this one, if I can get it, so I'll cage that and then we'll see what it does. It moves. I like it. I need to take it for a drive now. Proper drive.